Don't look at this male protagonist called being poor. But he wasn't poor at all. The first place on the rich list. But due to physical disability, you can't call him a complete man. Suddenly, one day I accidentally got a bracelet. The body's back to normal. Just getting ready for 3,000 rounds of war. I didn't expect to faint in the gentle village. I actually returned to the age of 18 as soon as I opened my eyes. The good bear hugged his head and cried, saying that I didn't want to come back. Calm down, brother, Hao. Remember that the Epiphany was also in this year. In the land of kings, as long as you can have an epiphany, because it means a dancers union will sign up, you make a lot of money. But it just so happens that from the age of 20, received an oversized task. Save Granny Lee's 3 illegitimate children. As a result, the person who was stabbed with a straight waist was sold as a waist. It's just below the waist, above the thigh. It didn't take long. He was sent away by the union. A few months later, Hao Qiong bought a dilapidated house with compensation. It's a foothold. I didn't expect to catch up with the demolition. Ironically, this demolition money is more than what I worked hard to earn before. After tasting the sweetness, so poor I have traveled all over the king's continent, received several more demolition payments. After that, Country Garden was established. Henda and Wanhee Duo Real Estate Association. Less than 10 years. They own 1/3 of the land rights of the king's continent. A few years later, door to another world opens. Crises and opportunities are everywhere. So are business opportunities. This has also led to a scarcity of land and a rise in housing prices. That year, Hao Qiong sold all the land. 40, it went to the top of the rich list. That's a flash out of the corner of the eye. I see the bracelet on my hand. Remember what happened last night? The strongest man on earth came looking for a good shot last night. I want to sell the spoils of this dimensional war to Hao Qiong. Hao Qiong asked how much it was. This guy just spoke up. 100 billion. Hao Qiong didn't hesitate at all. Turn around and leave. Emperor Xiaoshin flashed and came to Hao Qiong. Put the bracelet in Hao Qiong's hand. After saying a word, you can think of this thing. But it can restore your veins. Good from the heart. It's really annoying. Then a counteroffer of 100 million. I didn't expect this place to cover the sky, so I agreed without thinking. After, it's just that everyone is quitting the real estate industry to celebrate the good army and party. After eating and drinking, all my sisters also came to say goodbye to Hao Qiong. Hao Qiong looked at the bracelet in her hand, lost in thought. How is this thing supposed to work? Then gently touch the bracelet with your hand. Purple light. Exudes strange energy. Then the sisters said, See if there is any reaction. Competing to demonstrate sales skills. I never expected it to be at a critical moment. Just passed through in such a confused way. Earth covers the sky. You and I are here. This is a bald man breaking in. As soon as you come in, you shout for rent. I'm so poor that I remember that this product is the landlord's son. It's called Sun Tzu. There was a great dancer. I deceived a lot of fans again. Weekends. In addition to this, the equipment is not bad. It's just trash. Come here every now and then to borrow money. Unwarranted rent increases. Finally, the great injustice. Soon, it was targeted by Black Fridays because of this personal equipment, and it gets ripped apart. This big injustice actually shot at Hao Qiong without knowing it. However, Hao Qiong did not let go of his consciousness easily. Are the cannon fodders in a hurry to deliver equipment like this? And then one hit. They will be hanged in this great injustice. Has the ability been retained? Looking at the person next to me, I thought, do you want to check the recovery degree of Renmai? 10 minutes later, Hao Qiong is wearing some hidden gear, walking down the street. I'm too weak now. After a little activity, I am already tired and weak. Then I heard a commotion behind me. Look back. Found a flock of ferocious large yellow ducks. Vandalism in the street. People on the street are being chased and running everywhere. Look at the poor deposit. Wow. Don't be afraid, girl, here I come. If I give you a chance, choose to remove someone's clothes. Do you choose the one on the left or the one on the right? The male protagonist is so poor, but he chose the bald cousin. The girl also chose to report the crime because she was angry. Lord Bao Qingyun came to Hao Qiong's house, found the suspect and left, leaving the girl crying. He was crying and he gave me a few glances. Turned around and went to take off the grandson's clothes. I'm not as good as that grandson. Then a few small shrimp skins followed by him. I found out the poor information. The perpetrators are called poor. I am 18 years old. 2. Mother passed away. Father disappeared the same year. Growing up in the slums. Came to this area at the age of 16. I have been renting this house. 5 jobs a day. Wanli, no stream, no stone. Orphan registration storage record. Bao Qingyun looked at the witness. We have a suspicious mole here. Write it down. Then the younger brother received a call. Mr. Bao, there's a monster attack in the city. There are dozens of them. Hurry up and notify the city guard. Contact other dancer guilds for support. But why are you tearing off people's clothes when you speak? I suspect you did it on purpose. Lord Bao and Hao Qiong at this time fight against these ferocious big yellow ducks alone. Not long after, it was a duck vision everywhere. Hao Qiong is still lamenting that this body has not been forged. So weak. This big yellow duck began to rush over. Is the child finished? Then knife after knife. Don't be rotten. Can I charge Q coins? Fortunately, that grandson's body is not able to resist some damage. Comes with upgradable armor attributes, self-cleaning skills, and the sword that can fly 800 miles a day. There seems to be some hidden ability. No wonder so many Blackbeards targeted him in his last life. By the way, why are there so many melon beasts in this slum? Suddenly so poor, what did you think of? Run to the side. Sure, enough. Enter again. Who's going to break the door? There's nowhere for these guys to pop up. Suddenly, 2 rockets flew over the top of the head. Fly towards a crack. Boom. Burst apart. At this time, the city guard team also rushed over. Grandma's finally here. Bao Qingyun went forward to thank Hao Qiong. After seeing Hao Qiong's clothes, his eyes widened. That dress is really nice, isn't it? There's also a self-cleaning function. Where did you buy it? What is your name? Which guild do you belong to? My name is Poor. No guild. At this time, Brother Hao seemed to have thought of something. Then he shouted in the crowd. I just fell out today. Is a newcomer. Haven't joined any guilds yet. At this time, Bao Qingyun's younger brother also thought of being poor. It's the murderer in the morning. I'm not finished. Bao Lam hurriedly covered her aunt's mouth. Then asked Hao Qiong for contact information to present Hao Qiong with a 3 Good Citizen Award. Don't forget to add a sentence after speaking. Can there be a few thousand more bonuses? So Poor grab. Throw your business card into the sky. Here's my card. Take the QR code. Hey. This aura. New epiphanies are precious. In recent years, the identity of a dancer slowly replaced the army and the motte. The major guilds are in search of new epiphanies. To the person who provided the clue, we'll give generous bonuses. Especially the newcomers who are doing well. These guilds have no room for recruitment. Like, yeah, this rigid animal. Normal dancer training. It takes 3 or 2 years to achieve. I wonder how it is possible to let you pack herring alone. Did you make money? Money to grab? Of course, it costs a fortune. Let's make money together. Go ahead. And walked away. At the same time, tell Lord Bao, if anything happens, let the union come to him. Hao Qiong looked at Yujian, also lost in place. This is really the dancer who just finished. The younger brother picked up the business card and took a look. Ouch, sorry. Got the wrong business card. Goodbye, Hao Qiong, who just reacted. Just listen to the phones around you keep ringing. All the words are dancers who have just discovered an epiphany. Random also started making calls. Almost delayed. Just got out of the way. The poor mobile phone is already in arrears and has been shut down. Come to Food City. Hao Qiong for his cell phone. Recharge the most expensive time in life. It costs $10. After charging the phone bill, he walked towards the sky. The burly security guard at the door stopped the poor. Tell him only VIP customers are served here. The Megalodon Guild. Get off a big cow sports car. Tell the security guard what a poor entrance fee. Land Guild is out. The voice just fell. The girls from the Palace Club also appeared behind. Yo, what a big breath. Who cares about a few stinky money? Little brother, come to my imperial city. I'll treat you to hot steamed buns. At this time, there were more and more rumblings from behind. All kinds of high-end cars are coming in the direction of poverty. All 9 guilds gather. This battle is really rare in 100 years. If you are invited by 2 major guilds, which one will you enter? One is a white guild of professional strong women. Offer over 30 million for a 1% stake in the association. The other is Charm Enchantress, white silk mask full of mystery black guild. Bid 5 million. Just now. Hao Qiong was invited to heaven by the 7 major trade unions. 5-star restaurant. Hao Qiong carefully crossed out a few dishes on the menu. Tell the waiter to cross it out. All the rest. I didn't spend it myself anyway. Money, this is the major unions have also started a snatching war. Blue Union speaks first. He said he was the first to arrive at the scene. The palace girl said it was weird. Who says first come, first served? The sisters of the royal palace would be better off. The young hero can be described as love at first sight. Then the various unions began to compete to buy the poor rainbow. It's easy to think about this. Here comes the 9 guilds. 7. The dark guild that covers the sky has not come yet. Just then, I hear the gentle breeze and drizzle. Hello, Master Hao Qiong. I'm Bai Lu, the personnel director of the Bai Guild. Hope to give more advice in the future. Hao Qiong also remembered this egret. Number 7 on the Forbes list. The daughter of the White Trade Union President Vitiligo. Career woman. After seeing the white deer use the charm skill, each guild has no bottom line to recruit. So poor. The girls of the Royal Guild are not jealous anymore. He even wants to help Hao Qiong lick the vegetable soup at the corner of his mouth. All kinds of flattery and temptation. Hao Qiong's heart is like a mirror. After all, come again. These guys take it seriously on the surface. New animal dancer lion. Just sign anyone. The only thing left to do in the days to come is to work hard. Think of these. So poor to scold everyone. Stop arguing. Whoever is arguing will leave. Then he pointed at the president of the Blue Guild with chopsticks. Blue Union, can I let you go first? Blue Guild looked stunned. Still don't understand what happened. What else do you want to quibble about? But who is poor? In his last life, he was a man with a low rich list. Good egg? You can imagine that it will be difficult to attack the rabble on the surface. In the end, it was swallowed up by the black collapse. Then he interrupted Blue Guild. Please come back. After the Blue Guild leaves, Hao Qiong asked the remaining guilds what their plans were. Want to sign a contract? At least show some sincerity. White Guild bear the brunt of the offer, 3 million. Other guilds are minor upgrades. 3 million as soon as you come up. Will the White House be so short of staff? Genius level epiphanies start in the early millions. Superficially calm and poor. There are actually 10,000 divine beasts in my heart, running 3 million. Back in the day, the signing fee for entering the guild is only 200,000. Then the door was pushed open. A masked girl said, I 5 million? Everyone saw that it was a black union robbing people. Also committed muttering. After all, it is known as a country. No one dares to provoke, and they're all ready to leave. The white deer saw the battle. Speaking of Black Guild fame and fortune, the president himself came to grab it. Person. Rare. I see my brother. I saw a toothpick in my hand. Stabbed at the black broken girl. Everyone was stunned. Hao Qiong smiled and said, sorry. Hand slipped. 2 bald guardians next to the black girl. Impudent, and then the golden horns in their hands. Start using the combination skill to break through the drill bit of the sky. According to rumors, the 2 of them worked together. Even if it is 50% off from 0, it is difficult to pick it up. So poor, pick up the inverted handle. Resist attack. A few rounds down, Golden Horn Yung Shao was surprised. I don't understand. Why are good bugs so familiar with their attacks? Random thought, maybe luck. He rushed up again. While the White Guild was watching the battle, also stood up at this moment. Enough is enough. Hao Qiong is a newcomer that our Bai Guild has taken a fancy to. You're going to take lives as soon as you come up. Do you really think there will be no one in our White House? Hao Qiong thought. This woman has been watching from behind from the start. Optimistic about the group value is not worth their collapse. Black drug girl called the guardian. Ready to leave. This time, Hao Qiong stopped the girl. Tell him to tell his brother to get the cash ready. Ask for a return within 7 days without reason. After saying that, Yang took the bracelet out of his wrist. This girl from Black Kung Fu didn't even turn her head. Only return. Hao Qiong. Right? I will remember. After the black collapse, we'll leave. Bai Bang will change. Bid 30 million, plus 1% equity to invite Hao Qiong to stay. Hao Qiong immediately took the egret to the next wing to discuss in detail. Time to go. Don't forget to let the waiter smash everything. It's all on the head of the White Guild. At the same time, after going out, the Black Guild girl took off her mask. Then tell my subordinates to investigate Hao Qiong's details. But should I say it or not? This Bai Si is really puzzling. If this woman is so intimidating, just want to be your boss. Will you surrender? Egret, the president of the White Guild just now, offer 30 million and 1% equity. Invite Hao Qiong to join the White Trade Union. Then he pulled the egret to the side wing. Said to talk in detail. As soon as he came in, the egret sat on the table. I don't believe Hao Qiong is a dancer who just had an epiphany. And explained that he had investigated Hao Qiong's past. No outstanding martial arts talent. No famous teacher's guidance. Although it is said that there is an epiphany who becomes a master in an instant, but never like fending off the elite. The movements of the two guardians seem to be very skilled. It's like practicing in private for many years. I want Hao Qiong to explain it to him. Hao Qiong didn't want to answer and threw a lump of ollie at the egret. Hey. We don't know each other. Such a privacy issue. I refuse to answer. Do you want me to tell you? This golden horn and silver horn used to be the east gate of my house. At that time, the emperor was so poor under the sky, borrowed 2 billion to resist the sword beast. The debt owed is paid with this golden horn and silver horn. The book of Emperor Shade Heaven is borrowed and returned. Then let the golden horn and silver horn turn the life gate of his cultivation method. I told Hao Qiong. For the contract, Hao Qiong has some small modification suggestions. For example, working 6 days a week is changed to 3 days. Get off work on time. Overtime work requires personal consent. And 5 times overtime pay. Make up rest the next day after overtime, etc. 20% of the task, owned by individuals. These suggestions are like bombs. Let the egret's eyes widen. I didn't wait for the group to finish speaking. The egret got up and slapped the table. It's absurd. How is it possible to meet such requirements? Even the president's daughter. I dare not make such an excessive request. Hao Qiong Xixian. I know you can't agree. Then tell the egret what the guild can't do. I'll go talk to other guilds, said the egret. What makes you think? Other unions will agree to these unreasonable demands. I saw Hao Qiong's face serious. Said that as long as the strength is enough, I am very confident. White deer looking at Wei Bian of Shangtang, take Hao Qiong's hand and say, I sincerely hope that Hao Qiong can join the guild. How close can we be in the future? After saying that, he leaned forward. Hao Qiong wanted to come. Here it comes. The best trick for women is courtesan. If the egret hadn't known some of her scandals in the future, I will definitely be led by the nose by this woman. Then he scratched his head. Say, Since Miss Bai is so sincere, it's unreasonable for me not to give in. For the sake of Miss White Deer, just keep the clause of working 3 days a week. Other people really don't have room under their feet. After saying that, he is ready to go to the institution to register the dancer information in disguise. The egret also told the good bear that the new contract will be completed as soon as possible. After the good bear leaves, the egret thought, the 3-day shift still gives me face. Why does it feel like he's been put together? The screen changes. King Continent, Emergency Management Class. Branch Chief Cao Yuan. Check out the monster attacks that happened this morning. Ask your subordinates, have any rookie warriors come to register recently? Girl says, this has not registered a dancer for 2 months. On the contrary, there are many sects that have come to test. They all want to get out. This is the incoming report. Said the testing device at the dancer registry malfunctioned. May I ask, Cao Yuan? Is it necessary to suspend the registration of new dancers? Cao Yuan felt helpless for a while. Broken again. How many times this month? Soon after, Hao Qiong came to the dancer registration office. Then the girl explained the division of grades to Hao Qiong. A dancer who has banding properties and pure body strengthening. Dancer. The lowest level above the level. F class highest. The level on the internet cannot be measured here. During the Epiphany, the natural Reiki will enter for 3 days. Form special properties. Attributes are also divided into gold, wood, water, fire, and earth, and all kinds of strange special abilities. If you are a dancer with attributes, there will be an advantage in ratings. Usually starts at level C. Hao Qiong said that he should be purely physical strengthening. Oh, girl. That's a pity. Then he took Hao Qiong to the test level. Tell Hao Qiong, you need to take off your clothes before the test. This is also to ensure that, on the tester, does not carry the blessing of an artifact that enhances explosive power. Turn around. Find poor. It's all taken off. It's over. It's over. It's a needle hole. The girl turned her head. Shyly tell Hao Qiong that there is a free locker room over there. I will also help for free in a while. Do the equipment on your body once. Rating. The machine in front of you is a testing device. The testing device is connected to the metavolvi, different from the other world gate. The gate connects the unknown world. The vital valve is connected to full vitality. The girl asked about the level of the poor test. I'm so poor that I said it was adjusted to the lowest level. I thought it was just a mess anyway. Level doesn't matter. S-level test can summon heaven and earth essence beasts. In the future, many strong people died in it. And then I gathered my energy. Air sinking tension. Then the crowd shouted, "There is a man behind him." Vitality materialized. I heard my grandma say it's been lost for 100 years. Speaking of which, how did being poor come to this practice? Of course, the guy who covered the sky. Last century, cover the sky and take this ancient law. Sold to the poor for 3 million. The good thing about him is it can be driven with weak vitality. Just a bang. Strike hits the test machine. How many points are given by the test opportunity? If you encounter a ferocious monster, would you choose to wait to die or risk your life? Just now. Strike hits the test machine. The roar spread throughout the office. Cao Yun was shocked when he heard the sound. This is heaven and earth vitality before testing device. Hao Qiong looked at the passing grade. I felt a sense of numbness. The people next to him said, I haven't seen a new warrior born in a long time. Although it is the lowest level. Hao Qiong thought, distinction these 4 pieces. Selling counterfeits. This result is not as good as an empty-handed punch. The girl looks so poor and angry. Also in a daze. Subsequently, congratulations to Hao Qiong for reaching the standard of a warrior. The next step is to accept the gift of vitality space. Hao Qiong walked to the door of the vitality space in disappointment. Never mind. It's just a bad omen. After entering the 7th night of Ona, Hao Qiong appreciates. I don't know how many people have soaked in this 7 nights. Really smelly. Only see. The good bear in the vitality liquid was teleported to the vitality space. 5 fingers on the outside. You can also use the big screen. See the seeing in the vitality space. I was so poor in my last life and I came once. But this time it feels a little different. Suddenly, a big screen appeared in the sky. How? And the girl's voices came from above. Tell Hao Qiong that you can't hear the sound inside outside. But they'll be out there watching what's going on inside. Only in the vitality space, if not die. You can pull good poverty out of it. So poor. And then it's just like before the crossing. Wait for a little white light to hit and you're done. It's this headache that really doesn't feel good. I saw a golden light in the sky. It hit Hao Qiong's side with a bang. I rely on this white light, it's too big. Hao Qiong, who sat up, also saw the scene in front of her clearly. This is the longevity of heaven and earth. However, the people outside were at a loss. I don't know what's going on inside. I can only see Hao Qiong waving her hands. Everyone thought Hao Qiong was greeting them. Hao Qiong is so polite. The heaven and earth origin beast began to attack the poor frantically. Shit! Let me out of here. These idiots. Don't you see that I am not the opponent of this heaven and earth origin beast? Help me fish it out. This is someone from outside, but they say he's getting harder and harder as he runs. There are people who let the poor stand still and wait. Heaven and earth. How ambitious wants me to take your sister. And so forth. So they can't see the monster? And so an hour went by. The monitor is running out of power. Everyone was a little impatient. Ready to leave. Cao Wuyan also came in with the maintenance staff at this time. Then asked the people what happened. Tears in the corners of the girl's eyes said there was a newcomer. Dancer, it has been more than an hour since entering the vitality space. Suddenly, the maintenance guy said, "How did the testing device jump to S level?" The girl's heart is tight. What? Level 2, I obviously adjusted to level 1. Guilty girl says she hit the ball. At the same time, the testing device is also powered. Everyone rejects, staring at the big screen full of snowflakes. After seeing Hao Qiong's tragic condition, girls hide their faces and cry. The dancer next to me doesn't know what it is. Tear people like this? I saw Hao Qiong with both arms and a limp right leg. Below him are celestial beasts. Shit! Even if I die, I will pull you. A beast temple. The grass and wood rocks saw this scene. Filled with astonishment. I didn't expect Hao Qiong to be still alive. Then tell the staff to fish out the good bugs quickly. Suddenly, testing device starts to fall apart. I saw Hao Qiong emerge from the cocoon of vitality. The girl's eyes widened, as if I saw something incredible. Okay. The richest man is poor. This kind of thing happened in broad daylight. Expose Hao Qiong, the second and third lives of the richest man in those years. Hao Qiong was taking the dancer test just now. But I didn't expect the machine to malfunction. The lowest level of testing jumped to the highest S level all at once. The good poverty that perishes with the longevity of heaven and earth is a blessing in disguise. Please, love from vitality industry. He could feel his hands and feet again. But you can't see it. So Poor punched himself in the face. Sure enough, the limb is still there. I thought it was no wonder that people outside could not see the heaven and earth origin beast. It turned out to be a stealth skill. Now the vitality of this world is still entering. But I'm so poor that I can't eat S-level vitality. When the body is about to burst, testing device starts to break. The Poor also broke through the iron from the vitality liquid. Accidentally fell on the girl. After coming out, Hao Qiong hurriedly looked at her hands and feet. Fortunately, it's still there. The girl was overwhelmed and overwhelmed. Tell my good brother that as long as he comes out alive from the vitality space, the damage to the body will disappear. With tears in his eyes, congratulations to Hao Qiong for receiving the gift of heaven and earth vitality. How could Hao Qiong let go of this opportunity to touch porcelain? But it is. Hao Qiong almost died in the vital energy space. They deserve some compensation. Then grabbed the girl's collar. Angry, he asked the leader to ask for an explanation. This is Cao Wuyin walking to the side and telling Hao Qiong. He's in charge here. Someone will follow up on compensation. Then ask Hao Qiong to go to the office. Hao Qiong looked up and found that it was Cao Wuyi. Thinking about this guy, among the people I don't want to meet again in this life. No words count as number one. Standing up. Okay, forget it. I just hope to get the dancer certificate ready as soon as possible. And they're ready to leave. Cao Wuyin told Hao Qiong. Certificate. To judge based on what happened in the vitality space. Hao Qiong filled in 1. But machines are the most advanced. Although there is a problem with the machine. But Poor, after all, entered a vitality space higher than the level filled in. If you want to get the title of advanced dancer, you must explain in detail to Cao Luyan what happened in the vital energy space. Okay, think about it. Detailed instructions are impossible in this lifetime. I made a random excuse and prevaricated. Say in the vitality space, the strong vitality bursts the body. The dancer can use 1 level equally. Say that you are the strength. Then he said that he was not feeling well and left first. Don't forget to ask for good equipment before leaving. Cao Wuyin told Hao Qiong. The certificate will be made in 2 days. I gave a temporary certificate first. Hao Qiong left when she reached the deepest point. Soon after, his subordinates told Cao Yuyan. A testing device for collecting vitality and a weapon identification machine. All scrapped. The reason is when the bracelet is identified. The machine just exploded. But before that, it was found to be poor. The other 2 pieces of equipment are both first-level god suits. Nothing to say, looks like it's going to be closed for a while. It is good to go in and out of the martial artist class. First, I went to the grocery store and bought some rations. Then the sword flew to the barren land. The guard at the door saw someone flying in the sky. He shouted for Hao Qiong to come down quickly. Badlands. After Hao Qiong came down. Show your master dancer ID. Please give up the guard. With the formation sword that has just been issued, he said that he has no wish. It's extremely dangerous. Hao Qiong thinks when necessary. It's still convenient to rely on the background. Then the White House said she was on an urgent mission for Miss White Heart. The doorman was shocked when he heard it. Release good people without hesitation. I saw the tree head stepping on the giant elephant pulling the city gate. Tom, the praise of the city gate looks at these door pushers. A person who has retired. Live for yourself and your family. Accept this task of propping up the gates of the empire. Who would have thought that one day, these people, when the barrier that isolated the barren land shattered, they became the first cannon fodder. So poor. Okay. I thought to myself, but what's the matter with me? Work hard to make money. Making more money is the king of poverty. Badlands. Changlin Lean. Just listen to boom. With a sound, city gates closed. Suddenly, a doorman saw money and provisions spilled on the ground. Good in a barren land. I found a big hole in my backpack. All the ginger and dry food are gone. The exasperated good worm said, "Go back and ask the profiteers in the grocery store carefully." Suddenly, two roars came from behind. You turn around. It turned out to be two desolate beasts. There was also a rustling sound of pain under my feet. Then a huge mouth broke out of the ground. Away from the two ancient beasts. And so forth. This is Godzilla. It's not over yet. Godzilla looked down. Suddenly, I found that poverty had disappeared. It was Hao Qiong, using the stealth skill obtained from the vitality space. Shit. It's so fierce when you come up. How about you? This male protagonist is called being poor. The previous life was an incomplete man. Finally, one night, I regained my full body. Just at the golden moment. Suddenly back to the age of 18. Previous life. As the richest man, he was ready to be ruthless as soon as he was reborn. Make money. The first step is the real estate business. Get ready for everything poor. Came to the barren land outside the city. The reason why this place has become a restricted area. Everything started 5 years ago. The first time Yuan appeared in the king's continent. This otherworld gate. connected to an alien world infested with low-level monsters. The Gate of Foreign Worlds lasted for 5 years. The monsters that came over destroyed 1/5 of the land on the continent. After the sale of Yujian, the king gathered the powerful warriors of the time, purged the monsters. But I didn't expect. The reproductive ability of demonic beasts exceeds human imagination. And finally, these brilliant minds made a plan that wasn't very smart. That is to create an illusory enchantment, aiming at demonic beasts with underdeveloped brain power. Lure the monster to the abandoned city. This place is also known as the Badlands. But in the near future, the demon beast will also see through this lie. The high wall can no longer stop these monsters. In poor memory, the Great War, humanity was almost destroyed until a man appeared, saved the disaster. Excuse me. Wrong. The strongest man on the surface. Earth covers the sky. However, the second gate to another world, that is, at the same time. This door is more advanced, connecting a highly civilized world. Magic enlightenment, a fantasy world of swordsmanship and magic. Subsequent years, this barren land has also been transformed. It has become the most prosperous place on the mainland because it is the central axis connecting the two worlds. The increase in land prices here is also very terrifying. So being poor has to be before those things happen. Buy the land in this area, especially the land under Hao Qiong's feet now. It's where the door will appear in the future. Just buy this land. The top 10 of the undead list is stable. It's already dark and windy. Hao Qiong camping and resting. Still planning how the land should be. For example, build a 7-day inn or something. And it's time. Not far away, a blue-eyed wolf was preparing to sneak a good shot. Suddenly, he found that Hao Qiong had disappeared in place. I hear the sound, but I don't see the person. Suddenly, a sword fell from the sky. The devil wolf didn't understand how he died until he died. It's sudden. It turned out that Hao Qiong turned on the stealth skill. Although stealth skills are very convenient. But it just didn't last long enough. Suddenly so poor and shocked. At this time, I only heard the language of magic rage coming from behind. Listen to what this means. He must have been hunted down. Not far. A bunch of crooked melons and cracked dates chase a white-haired little loli. Just then I accidentally fell. The person who takes the lead is called Fat. Fatty listened to the little loli speaking a language he did not understand. I decided that this little loli was a foreign girl. It will be worth more if sold all. Hao Qiong jumped up. When I jumped to a high place, I realized that these were all Scarlet Wolf people. homicide and robbery, kidnapping, sell. There's nothing they can't do. The size of the waiter is huge. After the first wave came through the door, one of the many criminal gangs that emerged. It's kind of the pinnacle of existence. There are even S-class flying dancers among the core members. The overall combat effectiveness can even resist the average union. Even infiltrated the Photon Army. But what makes Hao Qiong even more curious is the girl from the Magic Continent. I saw the little loli shouting that it was you. Then began the transformation of the little devil fairy. Yeah. After the transformation, the little girl mutated and was reborn. Fully grown. The fat group also opened their eyes wide. I can't believe what's happening in front of me. I saw the little girl chanting in broken Mandarin. The individual fighters are marching forward in formation. Fire all over my body. Then turn to the sky to activate the skill. Red Lotus burst. Everyone was surprised. When trying to escape, it turned out to be a problem. The little girl has also returned to her previous appearance. Dart thought, this is it. And I made a fortune doing that. A beautiful woman dancer. There will be fireworks. Hao Qiong, who stood on a high place, saw Fatty. Call his boss and call the police. Then immediately fell to Fatty's side. Kill it with a sword. The battle continues. So poor. It didn't take long to get rid of most of the little holler fans. Hao Qiong walked up to the little loli. The little girl said thank you. But Hao Qiong doesn't eat this set. Then put the sword on his head. With a gloomy face, he said that you are the big witch Long Zeroi. So, what is the identity of the foreign loli who appeared? If there is one, you can grow it at will. Shrunken girls haunt you. Will you choose to drive him away or stay by your side? Anyway, the male protagonist is so poor that he chose to drive him away. Because in poor memory, there are a total of 6 disasters in the King Continent. Every disaster is enough to destroy the world. Especially one of the fires. It was made by a witch with curly hair and snail powder. That time, from a true sense of despair. The snail powder witch is suspended in the air. Take a palm. The raging fire hit the ground like an atomic bomb. Fortunately, the sky appeared in time. In front of Hao Qiong. Tell Hao Qiong. He just came back from the other side of the street. Hao Qiong offered 1 billion. crying and saying, "Let the earth cover the sky and take off the witch's head." Earth cover the sky without a trace of hesitation. Turn around and walk in the direction of the witch. Colleagues tell Po, don't be carried away by hatred. If it's okay, to live as long as possible. The fire burned for 3 days and 3 nights. Hundreds of thousands of soldiers and warriors all died in this battle. Although the warriors worked together to successfully kill the fire girl, but restoring the city to its original state, it took several years. And here's the thing, so poor to buy most of the properties in the capital, also destroyed in the fire. And the culprit in all this, it is this woman in the shape of a snail powder. So poor, the woman who will never be forgotten. But how the hell is this a little lowly? The little girl lay on the ground and started splashing. Poor in the language of the wizarding world. Saved his life. He will be very poor in the future. Said he could do laundry, can cook. You take a bath. The most important thing is that the body can also get bigger or smaller. Hao Qiong kills. He set the fire and said that Hao Qiong would be his paladin in the future. I found that Hao Qiong did not respond. Indifferent. Saying so much. Don't you understand? How are you going to stab in the back from now on? I didn't expect it. So poor replied in the language of the magic continent. Have you had enough trouble? I thought this harmless little girl. Is it really the witch who destroyed the 8 capitals? The little girl's eyes turned cold. You understand? Look into his eyes. So poor. That's the look. It's him. Then I told him to leave quickly. Hao Qiong said she is not interested in children. The little girl also left angrily. Hao Qiong's face darkened. I thought this kind of perverted equipment that destroyed half of the magic city. Who are you kidding? This witch's future bounty is astronomical. After knowing the exact location now, go back and let the Union people monitor for a few years. At the first sign of disaster, slaughter it for money. The little girl not far away suddenly stopped. Looking back in the direction of Hao Qiong, the screen changes. Hao Qiong is cooking. The claw that ambushed him not long ago. And that little girl came back here. He hid in the stone forest behind Hao Qiong, secretly observing Hao Qiong. At this moment, a blue-eyed wolf suddenly appeared behind him. Just listen to a puff. Hao Qiong suddenly appeared behind him. Kill the wolf. See the witch hiding here. Let him get out of here without the slightest emotion. Hao Qiong returned to the bonfire again. But this time, one more in hand. Stupid. Yin-yang protection. One male and one female, and so forth. It's the same story. Still the same ghost. This time, in hand are 3 fancy burnt 3 wolves. Rotary air inlet. The meat is so fragrant. Again and again. I don't know how many wolves were cut. I forgot how many times I yelled. Until a moment later, can't stand it anymore. Ask him what he wants. This is already the 16th wolf. The mood starts to get more and more emotional. Do you want the ancestors of the wolves? Or say, do you want to die at my hands? Please be human. Be an undefined person. So scared that the child next to him didn't dare to move. I just want to leave as soon as possible. I saw the little witch shaking all over. Tears flowed unsatisfactorily. I said with difficulty, I see the appearance of this little witch. Hao Qiong is also a little intolerant. So the little witch began to have dinner with Hao Qiong. Hao Changshin wanted to probe his words. He asked how many people had come this time. If there is any plan, poor can join, conspire together. I saw that this little girl actually ate a cigarette. Hao Qiong quickly patted him on the back. Tell him not to die so early. Then the little witch with tears in her eyes, start talking about how you got here. He was practicing fire on the playground. Suddenly, a magic array appeared in front of him. Curious, he went inside. But I didn't expect to step over. The formation disappears, but came to a shaky place. The people in there look like foxes. There were a few unfriendly people. When he saw the little witch who suddenly appeared, he began to catch him. And he ran and he ran and he came here. I also remembered the one who gave orders. It's a man with a snake around his neck. Hao Qiong asked, "So, you're the only one here, right?" What is Hao Qiong holding back? Click on the homepage to enter my fan group. Let's discuss it together. This girl, he wanted to use his body as a reward. Let the male protagonist who has only met once raise him. Speaking of Hao Qiong and this little witch, in the blink of an eye, he ate 7 wolves. Hao Qiong asked the little witch what her next plans were. The little witch looks so real. I think Hao Qiong will definitely take her back to the wizarding world. Hao Qiong said categorically that there is no way. It's weird to think I can let you go back. If you don't die, I will take your last name. For this, in his last life, he lost trillions of little witches. So poor is hatred from the bottom of my heart. Hear the little witch who can't go home, as if lost its vitality. Eyes wide open and become wooden. Then he retorted that as long as he was willing to study hard magic, there must be a way. You need to follow the poor before that. You're going to be compensated accordingly. Authentic poor scare randomly said to the little witch, "Take out anything valuable."